Hey there and happy Friday. So where are my glittery Christmas lovers? So today I have a couple sparkly Christmas cards for you that have some gold foil, some glitter paper, all that kind of fun stuff that just makes Christmas extra special. So since I'm using similar products, I wanted to just do 2 cards at once instead of breaking it up into separate videos, because sometimes when you get a whole suite of products, you like to see what you can do with it without it looking all the same. So I thought this would be a good way for me to show you a couple different things that I've done recently at classes and just conquer it all just with one video. So let me get my camera turned around. I don't know if you guys feel like I do, but today feels like there was part of it where I felt like, I feel like I have one more day because I'm going to Stampin' Up's Las Vegas event next week. And so I have one more day at home. So in my mind, for a while, it felt like it was Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, but today definitely now starting to feel like Friday. I'm accomplishing so much this afternoon that I feel like I did 2 days in one. I hope you guys have days like that sometimes too. All right, now that I've got my camera turned around, here you can see card number 1, card number 2. And I will explain this more as I use it. The glimmer paper, it is retired, but I love what it did. But the party alphabet dies are current, and I'm sure lots of you have glimmer paper or glitter paper in your stash. So I love showing ways to use it up because I think we tend to save it up too. So where these products come from in this mini catalog here, well, it kind of takes center stage right from the get-go. I love all the greenery there too that they're using with all the products. Some of the foil and glimmer papers are from the Peaceful Garden suite. And then we've got, where these products start here on 21, 22, and 23. So I'm not going to go through the papers and such because I've done that before, but there's 2 bundles in here. There's shiny red ribbon, which I'll use, and some embellishments, which I'll use. And there's the wreath greenery, that embossing folder that I've used before too. So I'm using, actually, for these, I'm using both of the bundle, the dies and such from both too. So I'll kind of conquer that as I go along. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to do this one first. And with that, we've got those embossed designs, mix and match specialty cards. And let's see, so this one, it's hard to tell because there's so much on top of it, but it started with stripes. So here, it's easier to see in the inside. So this one is stripes, and this one is like little circles and such. And so that kind of reminds me of almost like little golf balls because it's like embossed, but kind of like a big snowball fight. All right, so with that, they're in the annual catalog. I'm pretty sure it's the annual catalog. And there's 10 in a package, because I was trying to think. I'm pretty sure it's 10. I threw away all the packaging, you guys. My classes have been so full. Like yesterday, I was in Worthington and I had more people there also besides Fairmont. And so literally I had 1 left to do my video. Hi there, Deb. And that's exciting. That's exciting. I'd actually rather have somebody in person do the card than turn somebody down to save this for a video, because I can always just post still shots of my cards, the samples too. So with this, they're nice because they're pre-scored, and then the envelopes coordinate as well. So the envelope flaps have stripes or those little dots on them too. So I kind of just let the people grab the envelope that coordinated with the card base that they chose. So for this, what I did is I cut 4-inch strips. And this is where that glimmer paper comes in that I talked about. So a while back, Stampin' Up! Had their red glimmer paper on the clearance rack. And I just grabbed a whole bunch thinking, you know what, if people can't, if I don't use it and people want it, people are going to want it at this price. And then I kind of hoarded it myself. So now that Christmas is here, I decided I'm just going to bring it, not only use it myself, but bring it out for people to purchase at classes. And so I only have a couple packets left out of kind of a little stack. So that's good that I'm not the only one that thought it was a good thing. So I'm just cutting all these strips in 4-inch 4-inch widths, and this is, let me just double check my measurements because it's a bigger card front. So this is 1.5 inches, and then I just cut up little strips here. These are all 4-inch, so about 1 inch and 3/4 inches. And with that, I'm just going to kind of layer these like every other, just to kind of fill up the space and make it look Christmassy underneath. I want some of the white to show, but then we've got this pretty paper. Actually, I'm just gonna go kind of like both sides for different reasons. I kind of like this because it looks like Christmas greens, and then I love this because of the red showing, and the red has that embossed look to it. So this Traditions of Christmas, I wanted to show this video today too, because this is the Traditions of Christmas paper that just came back in today. So I was so excited because a lot of you have been waiting for that. Hi there, Deb. Hi, Margaret from sunny North Carolina. Speaking to you from dreary. I feel like it's kind of gotten drearier as the day goes. Let's see. See, kind of, I don't know, maybe I'll scoot this down. I always feel like if my adhesive hasn't been on there too long, I can kind of do that. Either I should have spaced them farther apart, or I should have allowed. So I'm kind of going on the fly, because on this one I had thicker, and so I only used 3. This one I ran out of the sizes that were like that, so all I had was strips left. And I also wanted to tell you, like, this is a great card idea when you are cutting up your card stock or pretty papers, and all you've got are those like little pieces left, and you're like, what am I going to do with these little strips? Well, this is good, whether it be the pretty papers, designer series paper, or even just plain cardstock. So we kind of have this whole backwash here of all these different combinations of Christmas paper, and you might go, that's kind of too much. But then what I'm going to do next is build up here with kind of the focal point. So I have some gold foil, and that measurement is, let me bring it over here, 2.75 by 3.75. And I'm going to attach that to some real red cardstock. So my real red cardstock will then be 3 inches by 4 inches. So that's going to be ready to go on there, and I'm going to pop that up. Just going to do the 4 corners, because the things that I'm going to put on top of here will be in the middle, and I'm going to pop that up as well. So I don't want it to get too bulky for mailing. Okay, so let me just put this on here. I'm just going to go like this. I must have caught some adhesive on my glass mat, so that's going to get covered up, I know, if I put it there. So as you can see, the busyness of the paper already kind of is toned down, because I'm covering up that much of it. Hey there, Wendy. Good to see you on here too. So now the fun part is that the Traditions of Christmas has this beautiful paper that has these floral arrangements that you can take the dies from the Christmas greenery dies here. I just have to go, which one has to, yeah. And so that you can just feed in and then cut out, which I'm going to do. And then these are those traditional labels dies, which is great because it has these fantastic looking frames on there. I think this one almost could look like, it reminds me of a Halloween one that we used to have, and maybe it'll look more obvious when I run this through too, when you go, oh yeah, I could see that. It looks like a little, Gothic or something like that, just kind of from that era. So let me run through the frame first. Usually I stamp first, but because this is a photopolymer set, it's easy and safe to for me to be able to stamp on that. And then let me bring over the die and this, so you can see that just kind of fits that in. And it's always fun to see the relief on people's faces when they see the card sample and they're kind of thinking over the card, and then they ask, is there a die for this, or do we need to fussy cut it? Well, in this case, this would be kind of heavy on the fussy cutting, And some people love to fussy cut and take on the challenge, and maybe the more angles and busier the pattern is, the better. But look how fun that is, and it's all colored in like so. I'm just going to give you kind of a close-up here. See, I thought maybe this looks a little Halloween-y or kind of fun like that. So that's the way that looks for the Traditions of Christmas labels, or traditional labels dies, excuse me. So I'm going to open up my Real Red ink pad here for this. I'm going to bring over the Just For You from the Traditional Labels stamp set. I'm going to ink that up and center that in there. So that's why I said it's kind of easy to be able to cut that out first. And then I'm going to get some dimensionals on the back side of this. You guys know me, I love my blue. So even though and I love stripes too, even though it's kind of plain compared to the fun arrangement of flowers on there, I'm like, oh, do I want to save my Secret Sea stripes here or do the floral bouquet? But then I'm like, you know, there is a stamped image where people could stamp out the floral image. That would be a lot of coloring too. And I love it when Stampin' Up! Gives us these artistic things like so too. Hi there, Elaine. Thanks for popping in. All right, so what I'm going to do is just kind of set that there so that I know I have enough space to kind of tuck this here without covering any of the words. And then when I feel like it's like set down close to each other, it just pops together just like that. So how easy. Scraps there if you wanted. A lot of times for classes I call them strips or scraps, but I'm cutting them straight from the 12 by 12 just because I like that. If you think too busy, look at this was just the 3, same card, but look how that changes. I feel like this one almost looks taller because there's more strips, and then this one just has the 3 chunks, but otherwise the same layout and design. But let's get some embellishments on there. And so for the embellishments, I have the traditional sparkling sequins. Like everything in the suite I feel like has tradition in there, so that's why I get goofed up, because it's like, what tradition is it? Traditional, traditions of. So I'm gonna grab a gold one right away, a smaller gold one, and I think that just has to go right in the center there of the poinsettia. Just feels like it belongs. And even though there's not a lot of blue in here, I love just putting on one of these blue ones because it kind of takes on a silvery tone against the gold. I like that. I'm just going to put red down here towards the bottom, and then another blue one up here. So we've got lots of sequins to make that kind of look extra festive. So for the inside, then all I have to do is take and bring over my Real Red ink pad again. Open this up. It's white, even though they're pre-scored and folded. White on the outside. They're also white on the inside. So those pre-folded embossed designs, mix and match, specialty cards and envelopes. Say that a few times. It's a mouthful. They're just so handy and so convenient. So like I said, this one is the dots. I'm going to do another one here quick for you. So don't, I was going to say hang up. Don't walk away from your stream here. So yeah, it's just so nice to see the dots here, and then that just follows through with that. So beautiful, elegant Christmas card. So now the other one, because I was just saying how many people have been showing up lately for classes. This is the same card set, the embossed designs, mix and match, specialty cards and envelopes. So this one was with the lines, but I ran out of them, you guys, because so many people. So I'm just going to downsize this, and I think that's a good thing to show too, because then you'll see if you don't want to purchase those and you think, oh, I have a lot of just basic white or a lot of supplies on hand and I just want to do regular card size cards, then this is where this card will come in handy too. So what I did is just took my 8.5 by 11, cut it down like I normally would do. This is the thick basic white. And so that's all ready to go. I don't have any fun dots or stripe design on there. So what I did is just barely trimmed off. This is 5.5. So this is like about 5 15/16. So you can almost see the white. And I kind of did that because I want to eventually put some ribbon around there. And I didn't want that to be so close to the edge that it makes this pop or puff up too much. And then for this is also from that Traditions of Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper. Let me give you the measurements then of the red. So it's 3.75 by not quite 5.5, and then this one is 3.5 by 5.25. And I'm just going to put these together. So on the back side, you see these dots here, and the previous card sample, that's where that comes from too. So the back sides of this Tradition of Christmas is really fun too. The one side has all the specialty, kind of the gold foil, which is so fun and pretty. So now before I attach this to that, I'm going to grab from that suite of products that shiny real red ribbon. Love this stuff, you guys. It's very easy to work with and tie, and just kind of has not only that shimmer shine, but it almost looks like the very edges are lined with just a hint, if maybe they're using some kind of gold in it to coordinate with the papers. So I used to know the gal from Stampin' Up. She shares the same birthday as my dad, and so when he was alive, I'd always remember to send her, she worked in the headquarters of Stampin' Up, I'd always remember to send her a happy birthday text, and she'd always be like, I can't believe you remember my birthday. And I'm like, well, it was my dad's birthday. so that is why. But she was in charge of sourcing products like the ribbon and sourcing and tying in things that would look perfect with the whole scheme of the theme of things. And so that was interesting to hear from her that was her job at one time too. All right, so then I'm just going to get some adhesive. I want to get this really close to the top and the edge here, because we all know when we put ribbon on that sometimes it just kind of likes to pop up because of that little extra bulk in there. And then a lot of times I'll go right underneath the ribbon and get some adhesive on there as well. Okay, so then we have this, and this card comes together really easy because ahead of time I took that red glimmer paper, and so in the past Stampin' Up has had 12 by 12 of just red glimmer paper, or even variety packs of like reds and greens and golds and silvers and such, 6 by 6, 12 by 12. So I have so much, you guys. So I thought, well, if I can offer it to people, I'm going to put it on my cards. So at in-person classes, I was able to offer that. Now, this is where those trims come in. I love having these little edge pieces, and something that's kind of silly, you'll laugh at this, but because I've had newer people at classes, I always go through the trash, because sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I will put my things in my little trash buckets that are on the tables, knowing I'll go through it later and find it. Obviously not things that are super valuable, but things that, okay, I just don't want to lose them, and I know my trash will be safe because I'm the only one that empties my trashes. But I had new stampers, and of course they see all the middles taken out, so I did have some edge pieces in my trash. And I mean, like, I'm not shaming people because it's an honest mistake, but when it comes to things like this, I love that I can just kind of cut down around my letters and have long strips, or for my sentiments, you know, those greetings, it's just nice. Or like the J, we just have this long strip, so I can just cut this down and put that on there too. So I haven't had that happen for a while, to see that in the trash. So I went, yep, new people. And I'm not going to say anything except for my video to you guys. Hopefully they're so new they don't see it, or they'll go, oh gosh, that was me. That was important. All right, so now when I put this on here, I just kind of lay them down. Oh, I wish you guys could see this in person, because the sparkliness of the paper, like underneath, and then the sparkliness of the glimmer paper right on top, it just looks so fun together. Oh, love it. And then there's even like an undertone of the shininess of the ribbon. So once I feel like it's all straight, like nothing's like too crooked, then, and I feel like it's spaced good enough apart, then I just take and press down all the dimensionals onto there. So for the inside of this one, I'm using, let me look, from the Jolly Holly. I am loving that stamp set, you guys. It just has great little words that you can mix and match, excuse me, or just use together. They've got great sentiments in there. So I put Have a Merry Christmas, 3 different stamps all in the one block, and just line that up, because I always feel like my stampers have better success when I do that versus, or at least for me, I'm thinking if I had to stamp Have a and then a separate stamp for Merry and a separate stamp for Christmas, I would probably get it crooked. And so I try and put that all together so that people have more stamping success with that. And because there's so much sparkle, I've got the ribbon going on, it takes up a lot of space. I actually opted to not put any embellishments on here. And part of that also is because the background paper, the designer series paper, is pretty busy. And so my fear was it would just get lost in there anyway too. So hopefully you've enjoyed here. Let me get out my cards so you can see the difference of the regular size that I used in class of the embossed designs, mix and match, specialty cards and envelopes, and then downsizing this card to our normal like 8.5 by 11 cut in half. So it's just a little bit smaller, but it still looks just fine. Either way, just more white around there. Or if you're including photos, a lot of you like to include family photos. You might like these mix and match cards because it gives you extra space to put your photos in there, but this would be the regular size, and then the Just For You, the big size here. And then I did some different backgrounds with that. So I always like to kind of show those a second time for those of you that are maybe joining in at the end. That way you can decide, oh, maybe I do want to watch the video again from the beginning, or maybe you'll go, nope, I've already got my Christmas cards planned and I don't need any more ideas or need to see what Belle did today. All right, so Sunday I leave for Las Vegas, and if I feel like I'm comfortable and packed, haven't even started, then I might actually pop on, even though tomorrow's a Saturday. Don't hold me to it, but just to show you some more ideas, because I've got a lot brewing in the background here. So maybe tomorrow, otherwise it might be a whole nother week or more. So take care, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.